Okay, I want everyone to keep comms clear. Then you can talk about your memes and shit later.
Shuck.
So basically, Physique and I kind of wanted to talk to you guys, mostly me, wanted to talk to you guys about just, the team in general and moving forward and any rules that we'd like to start including now, any SR requirements, etc. So we're kind of here to talk about that now. So I'll post the rules that we've discussed in both the Alpha and the Omega channels so you guys can see them. So I just posted them there. They're a bit long. But just to go over things, for lateness or absence regarding scrims, in the future, anything that's more than 10 minutes late will be counted as a strike against you. If it's less than that, we'll give you a verbal warning, but we're obviously not going to be putting up with that over an extended period of time. So we don't want to see you guys being late to scrims, and we don't want unannounced absences. It's one thing if you tell us that you're not going to be here because I have an event, I have to work, I have something going on, I'm not feeling well, I'm sick, whatever it may be. As long as you're giving us notice before the scrim, then we will excuse it. But we don't want any more, people being late to things or just not showing up unannounced in the future. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind there. So don't be late. Don't just not show up to something just because you don't feel like it or you don't want to take a couple minutes to give us notice of that.
Yeah, because like guys, we're not your parents. You
Yeah.
get warnings before scrims, and if you haven't told us ahead of time, like I don't want to be scrambling around trying to find people last minute.
See it like a job. Like if you're late to your job or you just don't show up to your job, they might tolerate it once with a good excuse. They might tolerate it twice with a really good excuse, but anything more than that is just unacceptable, and you would be fired from that job. So I want you to treat scrims like a job, because if you're not there, you're holding up not only your team, but your scrim partners, and you're making everyone try to scramble and figure out what's going on, and we just don't want to deal with that. So again, with this rule 2 regarding scrims as well, regarding text chat and voice chat and social media, in the text chat, I don't really see a reason to use it in the first place, because generally half the time you're using it, it's to be BM or to be, spamming a bunch of question marks or whatever. It's dumb shit that I don't want to see. If your scrim partners are being BM in text chat, don't feed into it. Just please ignore them. We don't want to have people associating us with being, shitty in scrims. I just like right now we all know that the enemy team can see your team chat. You're in voice. Please use voice if you want to say shit about them. Like I don't care if you're saying it, you're talking about it, but when it comes to the point where they see it, that's when I start to have a problem with it. You guys can say what you want as you need to, but just keep it so that the enemy team doesn't see it. They don't need to see it, and they're just going to get upset about it, and then that causes a problem for us. In regards to social media, I follow a lot of you guys and you follow me back. I don't want to see anything on social media that can be construed negatively towards the teams that we've scrimmed with, especially the ones that have been upset about whatever comps we run or how often we beat them. I don't want to see it. There's ways you can still post about it, but just word it so that you're completely leaving out our scrim partners. That's fine. I even called Physique out on a tweet that he made this week where I was like, look, I don't like the way you worded that tweet. If one of the people that we scrimmed with saw that, they might have something to say about it, and it just looks bad on us. And by association, I don't want to look bad because you guys are posting shit about our scrim partners on social media. So.
And if you guys are ever unsure too, like just ask, because
or just don't post about it at all.
Yeah. Exactly.
I generally don't post about my job almost ever on social media, because if the wrong person sees it or someone misconstrues what I'm saying or they can take what I'm saying in a negative light, I don't post it. So just again, think of this like your job. You wouldn't be bad mouthing your job on social media that's visible to anyone who happens to, click on your social media. So just don't say it about scrims.
That should include Discord servers too, right?
Yeah, like don't be in other Discord channels like ours or someone else's saying shit about our scrim partners or
Nope.
about your
Yeah.
teammates or about anything like that. Just don't be BM towards other people. Because it causes problems and then I have to deal with it or Physique has to deal with it or Vanish has to deal with it. I'm just gonna bring up what happened in Omega Scrims this past Tuesday. They used the 5 tank strat against this other team. The other team didn't like it. They asked them to play something that was more meta. Now, the text chat in that game ended up being less than ideal from both sides, from us and from our scrim partners. However, a lot of those girls on that team stream, and a lot of those girls know a lot of people. And one of them posted about it on social media. So we ended up dealing with that for hours, trying to smooth over the situation and make sure that they weren't going to be dragging our name through the mud. I ended up having to deal with some guy that found his way into our Discord channel and was trying to start shit with us. So I ended up having to try and figure out how he got there, what he was doing, and keep him off of our server. So I don't want to have to spend hours of my night trying to smooth over things because someone couldn't, not type something stupid in Scrum chat. Again, keep it to voice where just your team is. I don't care if you say stuff about them, but just keep it to where you guys are talking. Going off of that, streaming. As Vanish quoted, "Don't be Defran." I don't want you guys throwing matches if you're streaming. This isn't calling out anyone specific. This is just a general rule. I don't want you guys throwing matches if you're streaming. I don't want you guys being extremely toxic towards your teammates while you're streaming. I don't want to hear you like bad mouthing people, like your teammates, your scrim partners, whatever. I don't want to hear about that happening on your stream. And also, I know that there's apparently a couple of you with the Hive Discord link on your Twitch profile. I don't want those on your Twitch profiles. They need to be removed. I don't want randoms coming into our server and then we have to figure out who they are and why they're here and who invited them. If you want, you can invite them to your own personal Discord server, but please just, you can invite your friends to the server, but don't leave it as an open link for anyone to join our server. Again, going off of that, conduct for the Discord server. I don't want you guys stirring up drama with each other's friends, with ringers, whatever it may be. If people are on the server, I don't want you trying to start problems with them. If you have a personal problem with someone, please come to me or come to Vanish. We can handle it one-on-one. We can handle it, over DM, whatever it is. But if you guys have a problem with someone, I don't want to see it on this server.
Yeah,
Without, like we're not your parents, and we shouldn't like you should not be trying to start problems with other people.
If
And
you
if
have
you
a
do
problem
have
with
a problem,
someone too, like we don't need to hear, like the world doesn't need to hear about it. Just talk to Lana or Vanish about it.
or if you have a problem with someone, be an adult and solve it with them over DM or something, because it's just kind of unacceptable to be having these issues on the Discord server where people are trying to like, I don't know, rile each other up or make someone angry or calling them out over something that's small or stupid. And I don't want to see it. It's kind of one of those situations where it shouldn't be happening, and I don't want to see it in the future. In regards to keeping up your SR and the team's SR, I want to see everyone playing a minimum of 6 hours of ranked a week. That's about as much as you guys scrim a week. That's a little bit less than an hour a day. So it's not very much that I'm asking here. You can choose what account you want to do this on. It doesn't have to be like your main account, like Physique goes by Physique, but it doesn't have to be on his Physique, account. He can do it on Hombra or Beast. I don't care which one it is, but you have to pick one, and that is going to be your main ranked account that I'm going to be keeping tabs on for the season. So I want everyone to make a goal of having an SR of 3,800. So obviously some of you have issues with decay, or, in the case of if you were in Florida or Texas, you've had some issues with internet, power, etc. I completely understand that. I will be lenient in the beginning because I know that, this is a completely new rule and some of you didn't or don't care about ranked. But from now on, I would like you to care about ranked, and I want you to be maintaining an SR that is appropriate for the teams that we're scrimming. Because we all know that people check each other's SR and that you might be checking the SR of your scrim partners, and we want to see that we're actually, scrimming people of that level. And also, I just want you all outside of scrims practicing the heroes that you're going to be playing in ranked and practicing in general. So I definitely want to make that more important to all of you. So you'll see that if you fall below your team's given SR for more than 2 weeks in a row, you will receive a strike. So more than 3 weeks in a row, you're going to have to try out for your position again.
Guys, it's not a lot to ask for, considering if you want to go somewhere playing this game, you can't be at least on any of your accounts, you can't not care about comp. It's not, if you need help climbing, play with one of teammates. Everyone has Smurfs here. It's not a lot to ask for.
Exactly. So I'm posting a link to a spreadsheet that I made for you all in both the Alpha and Omega chats, so you can look at that. There is a tab at the bottom called Alpha Ranked Tracking, and then there's also Omega Ranked Tracking. So this is kind of where I'm going to be tracking everyone's SR. If you see a number in red, it's because the number is too low. Except for I just realized I made a mistake on the alpha one, but that's okay because I'll fix it because this is still new. So I just want to see that you all are playing those 6 hours of ranked a week. Right now, say Fofe has 27 hours in ranked this season. So I'm going to be checking his hours this season next week, and I'll see that he has, maybe he has 40. That clearly means that he has passed his 6 hours that he needs. So he's in the clear. Okay, so he's played a fuck ton of ranked, so that's fantastic. So we will be, we'll be looking at that. Also, your SR as well. I checked earlier when I was kind of updating this spreadsheet. So, if your SR is not high enough, it's just going to have to be a discussion that we make at that time each week when I do check-in. So I'm going to try and do check-in at the same time every week on Sunday. So I'm going to try and do it late in the evening on Sunday. Obviously, with these websites that track your SR, etc., they tend to have graphs that show how many you've won or lost, or if you're in a really hard rut where you're on a huge losing streak. There are things that I will understand and I will look into it on a case-by-case basis. So if I see that you're just really, getting destroyed in competitive and you've been trying to climb but it's not working, I will take that into consideration. But if you're really hard stuck and you're having problems, ask your teammates to do it with you or something. I want to be reasonable, but at the same time, I need you all to know that I am requiring this for a reason, because I want you to continue to practice outside of scrims and not just come to scrims and forget about Overwatch for the rest of the week.
Reasonable but logical.
Yeah. So.
Wait, one thing. I need to give you the account that I actually play.
Yeah,
that's fine. I figured that it was either going to be Jaws or Lord.
Lord,
whatever.
Yeah, that's my
okay.
main.
Yeah, the Physique mentioned that earlier.
So if the account that is on there, guys, is not the one you want to use, just tell us.
Let me know. You'll see the final tab is the accounts tab that I have. So I've been trying to keep track of what accounts people have, but I only know, some of your alt accounts. So you can just let me know what account you want to be your main account. But again, that is going to be your main account this entire season. You can change
the remaining 35 days of this season.
Yeah. So if next season you want to change back to your actual main, maybe Physique wants to change back to his main Physique account next season, he can. But this season I'd be going off of his statistics on Beast and Beast alone. So, just let me know. I'm going to ask you all to get that to me today. I want you to decide. And then, again, each week I will be doing a check-in on this. And again, if you're constantly falling below your team's given SRs, or this 3,800, you're going to be receiving a strike. And 3 strikes is you're out, obviously. So, it's a pretty big deal if you're not maintaining this and you're not showing up to scrims. We're not going to deal with it, and we wanted to try and put some rules into place so you know what's expected of you, so there's no confusion about, well, I'll just show up 20 minutes late. It's not a big deal. No, it is a big deal, because that's 20 minutes where you're keeping 5 of your teammates waiting and 6 of your opponents waiting. So we want to, make it clear that this is the expectations that we're going to be going with going forward. And they were kind of already there in the first place. It was kind of just understood that this was what was required of you, but we wanted to get it in writing what is required of you.
Yeah.
So,
and to Heijin, just to kind of clarify, you decay, right? That's different. Real life circumstances, that's considered. But moving forward, like everybody here, we've wasted enough time just dicking around with professionalism and BM and scrims, and we've had to clear up a bunch of drama that we shouldn't have had in the first place. So moving forward, once both rosters are ready to roll, like especially once Alpha's filled out, like we don't want to waste any more time. We need to start competing in tournaments. Otherwise, we're just wasting more time. Like we want Hive to go somewhere, and if we don't start putting stipulations in place and making sure that people have the dedication and commitment required, like I don't want to be blunt, guys, but if you don't have the discipline and dedication required, there's the door. Because we don't want people just we're on a team for funsies. No, like we want people who want.
No. Because you're like not you're managing the team essentially, but you're not directly on the team. Like I am not going to get to 3,800 anytime this season. I just help run things. So no.
I think it's better that we had this conversation before we started competing. Like we get it out of the way, so we already
Yeah.
Like, we
And we think it's important to make sure that everyone is on the same page and that you're all working towards the same goal, and that you all are striving to improve. Because if you're not, then what is the point of this? There's going to be some people who don't care, and there's going to be other people that really care and really want to improve. And if there's those personalities that are just clashing, it's just going to cause problems within the team where some people don't care and others do. So we don't want that issue to happen or keep happening, depending on how you all personally feel about things. So that's why we kind of spent this week trying to figure out what rules we were going to put down and put in place, and how we were going to try and keep track and make sure that you guys are actually, trying, essentially. So I guess I will now open the floor to questions. If you have any questions, try and, be one person at a time asking questions.
Okay.
And then if you already told me that you needed to leave early and, you're going to go. So those of you going to a concert tonight, you can stick around for the questions until you have to leave.
Who might that be?
Me, can I go first?
I'll let Jaws go first, yeah.
So I just want to know, do I send you my account so you can change it?
Just
or
just send me your battle tag for Lord.
because you have it on accounts. I saw it on the tab.
Okay, so that is the one you want to use. Okay, then
That
I will
is the
just go
one.
off of that one and I'll switch it in my spreadsheet.
Okay.
I just made it so
Okay.
no one can edit it but me.
Okay.
I noticed Dave has 2 accounts. Like I play on both my accounts pretty evenly because they're both like up there, and I try
Okay.
to maintain SR on both of them. So is it right if I add both? I'm pretty sure I get around like almost 6 hours in both.
I
of them
would
just
still
to-
prefer you use one main account. Just
Alright.
because I don't want to have to. It's just more work for me when I have to
Yeah, I
constantly check
understand,
multiple
yeah.
accounts, and that's where the problem comes in. Where it's like I don't want to have to do more work than I have to keep track of 12 people. Especially because I know that you guys will not self-report because half of you will not remember. So that I don't want to deal with that. Does that answer your question, Jules?
Yeah.
Can
Okay.
I add
I
something
just
maybe?
hold on real quick. I saw Poop. Oh, you're gonna add on to that one?
Not that one, just in general.
Okay. Well, Poop, she asked a question in the Omega chat, so since he's
Sure.
on his phone, I'm gonna answer that. So he said, so maintaining a rank, like if you're above the team's average SR, that should be fine. So it promotes competitive. Poopshi, I'm not sure what you're referring to. If
I
you
think he's
stay,
asking like as long as they stay above the whole team's average. That kind of goes back to what we discussed earlier when we were chatting about the minimum rank requirement.
yeah. So are you saying that you and not worry about the 6 hours a week? Oh, okay, okay. So Poopshi is wondering if they stay above 3.9 to 4K, so above that 3.8K mark, do they not have to worry about the 6 hours a week? No, I still want you guys doing the 6 hours a week just because I want to continue with that dedication of practicing outside of scrims. You guys are only doing 6 hours of scrims a week. 6 hours of ranked is not that much. I want to see you guys practicing the heroes that you play in, in scrims. I want to see more practice with that, as much as you can. Obviously, sometimes it's hard with the ranked environment to play the heroes that you would play in scrims. I get that. But do what you can and just keep working on things.
If you guys need a partner, right? Like Poopsie, for instance, you play main tank. If you need a partner, like
just
ask
play
one
together.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Should we make a channel
Can-
dedicated to like looking for a group or something?
Yeah, I think that would be a good idea.
I mean, you guys can do it in Overwatch Talk, or if you'd like a dedicated looking for group just
That'd
for
be better.
you guys, that's fine.
Better.
Okay, yeah, we can definitely do that. We can make you guys a looking for group. I'm looking
Yeah.
to play
Oh,
whatever
it's
tonight.
sort of like someone can go like, oh, I'm gonna play comp right now. Does anybody want to do it with me? Instead of like cluttering up like the Overwatch talk.
Yeah, that's fine.
And also adding on Poopsie's question, if we like have one account that's like above 3,800, do we have to put all 6 hours on that account?
Yes, I want that main account to be your main account for ranked. I want those 6 hours on that account, so I don't have to look across your 3 accounts and figure out how many hours of ranked you played on those 3 accounts together each week, because it's just too much for me to keep track of when I'm already keeping track of 12 of you. I'm not gonna also keep track of all of your alt accounts.
Yeah,
Like,
because I mean, like if you
it's just
did,
too much.
if Anna did that, like Joss has like 6 accounts. Like you know how hard that would be.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not gonna
I'm,
keep
I'm
track
about
of
to
all
get a
of them.
7th one. so-
Yeah, like it would. And Poopsie, to answer your question, it's pretty much 2 games a day. That's all comp. Like that's
Yeah.
6 hours.
And Poopshi, if you you can work with me on that and just tell me this is like what my work and school schedule is like. I'm trying, but I can't. Just if you're having troubles meeting that 6 hours a week thing because you have too much going on, then please talk to me. Don't just not do it. Talk to me. Tell me what's going on in your life that you can't make it happen, and we can make exceptions where it's applicable. So I don't want to hear like, oh, I didn't feel like it this week. That's not enough. If you had the flu all week but you still made it to scrims, but you've been in bed for the rest of the week and you couldn't do it because you had the flu, that's fine. If you have a work schedule that's way too demanding and it's either play ranked or sleep, I'm not going to say play ranked over sleeping. So just talk to me about it and we can discuss it, one-on-one about what's going on and why you can't do it. Again, 6 hours a week is like, it's not that much. It's less than an hour a day of ranked. So just, if you can't meet that requirement, talk to me and we'll figure something out. Now,
What?
yeah, right now.
Excuse me.
I gotta get in ranked right now.
No, you do not have to meet the requirements tonight. Not like right now meet the requirements tonight.
It's down
but
for
like,
a 6-hour comp run right now. Let's go, dude.
yeah, like with those of you that are currently right now really far away from it because of decay, because of natural disasters, or just decay because you had no idea this would be a requirement. Yeah, I will take that into consideration. I will look at how far you've come between this week and next week.
Yeah,
I'm not like I'm not gonna be a dick about it, but I'm still gonna judge you guys.
I don't mean to like put anybody on the spot, but like for instance, that's why I take it into consideration versus just okay, that's fine. Because like look at Jay for instance, like Jay had like his area got hit the hardest, and he's still above 3.8k.
And also, I mentioned this in the Omega chat, but obviously the Alpha can't see that. But like Jay has a whole tracker of his competitive and his practice that he puts in. I'm not asking you all to do that, but like Jay and I have talked. Yeah, we talked about this like a month or two ago or something, and Jay kind of like just was like, "Hey, look at the spreadsheet that I have," and it's impressive that he keeps track of all the time that he plays rank and he practices, just because he wants to play his best for his team. So, I want you guys to show your dedication towards each other and towards the team. And you might not see that Jay does this because he doesn't talk about it. But, like, I want you guys to show that you're dedicated towards your team and dedicated towards improving. Because if I go into your scrims and I hear you getting, pissed off about losing against another team, but I also know that you only play that minimum of 6 hours of ranked a week and you're not really trying to improve outside of anything, then I'm going to be like, well, maybe you could be playing more to try and improve then.
Mom's just gonna come in and be like, "Shut up."
Yeah, like I'm not just going to be like, you haven't improved, you're not trying. I'm trying to get the numbers here and show you guys, this is how you've improved in terms of SR. This is how you've improved in terms of how many hours you've been putting in a week. I don't want to just be like, get better or get good. It doesn't work that way, So we're going to go off the numbers of your improvement and the hours that you're putting in each week. So.
Can I make a comment?
So any other questions while we're all here?
1 second, let me look back at the.
Sure, yeah, you can take a moment to look over the rules, read them yourself. I obviously will answer any questions.
I have a question. I have one big question.
Yes.
Right. So, Physique told me about this before. Right. It's about with our scrim partners. If they start like doing a lot of BM on us, right? Of course we ignore it, right? But like, we're not gonna scrim them again, right?
No.
Because
but the thing is, if this BM is happening when I'm not there recording scrims, then I need to hear about it because I can't. If I don't know, then I might schedule something with them later on. But I didn't know that they were being shitty scrim
Okay,
partners.
because I don't know about anybody else, but I've been teabagged multiple times.
Listen, Jaws, the entire last scrim, I just got teabagged every time.
Okay, all right, okay.
Yeah,
thank
Which
you.
team was that?
Hey,
That was
hey.
the
Wait, is teabagging
They,
not allowed?
I told you about that. Fabiana, you were tilting out. Like, he apologized for that. He said, he's never had a Genji or a Pharah tilt his team so hard before.
Oh, the guy. Okay, I know who you're talking about.
Like, it's
Okay, so is it okay if I teabag the whole team and call them
No,
and then I'm gonna be like, oh, I'm sorry, guys. Like
Like-
again, it's
No, it's not like it's like we're like, oh, it's fine to do that and then apologize after. No, but like sometimes people are so used to competitive that those things do slip. But I don't want.
Like,
the
I'm not
team to
sitting there
teabag
looking for
me.
who's teabagging. Like, just let me know when they're doing that, and
Like if
I
they're
will
sitting there spraying,
talk to them.
begging you
because
saying, like,
whether I'm trying to keep a good attitude or not, like it's so frustrating when somebody is just like I've had people in scrims focus me down and then teabag me after I'm dead. And
well, you guys
and it-
shouldn't be able to
and,
see.
and then
like,
and then I tell
so
Physique,
can.
I said Physique, someone just teabag me, and he's like just let it go, and I'm like okay. Okay.
Because, like, look at it
Jaws.
this way. If they're killing you, teabagging you, and spraying, and then typing, "Oh, get wrecked" or something in chat, yeah, then I'd end scrims right there. There's no point scrimming and something like
Mhm.
that. But if, like, the odd time people are so used to I've caught Poopsy doing it too. Like, people will you'll still
He
reactionary
teabagged
to
the
like
Mercy.
Mercy, yeah.
I
like,
remember that shit.
All right,
because
let's go with no more teabagging, please.
But
Please no
Sinatra
teabagging.
does it and gets
Wait.
150k.
So what if you're playing Widow and you get this sick ass 720 YY trick shot?
Why?
Just say hello. That's it. Just wave.
Hello.
Joel,
That's
I'm
it.
gonna say this because I love you. If you
Mhm.
get teabagged in scrims, it doesn't matter. Man the fuck
I
up.
understand.
It's not gonna break
understand
your
that, but-
heart, dude.
But it's so tilting.
If
dude.
you get tilted over that, it's
Tell 'em.
ridiculous what you would get
Yo.
tilted over at a lane.
Guys, just take it as a compliment. Because if they
Hello.
teabag you, that means then you piss them off. And your skill obviously did something to them that triggered them. Or you did a sick play that triggered them. So just take it as a compliment, like, yeah, I'm good. So,
It's just
dude.
you gotta man up, bro. That should
I know,
not
like,
be
some
what
people are
tilts
new.
you.
His
Like,
land
some
10
people
times
are
worse, bro.
more new to scrims or like team environment of Overwatch in general. But I've been like doing this pretty much since after beta, like just when the game launched. And you get so numb to these things, Josh. Like eventually, you'll see someone teabag and spray you and voice line. Like you won't even say anything because you're just so used to it that you're like, meh. meh.
I don't even think BM is that bad. I think it's part of the mental game. At a
Oh,
LAN,
yeah.
you used to be able to like,
If he fucks up your mental game, like
yeah,
Just-
to be
that's
honest,
an advantage,
part of-
bro.
I think it's part of the strat, man.
If you like kill cams are off too, right? Like kill
No,
cams
no.
are off, Josh. So once you get killed, just swap the kill cam so you don't see what they're doing on your body. If it's an issue like that, I don't think it should be. because it's
Sounds
an
like we're
issue.
talking about sexual assault now. Like,
Yeah.
God. Jesus.
Don't look at him.
God,
Don't
I
look
have a
at it.
course for 2 hours on Saturdays and Sundays.
Oh God. So-
Can I say some points?
Yeah, sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so going back to towards the beginning of what we were talking about, you can actually turn off text chat. Those of you who don't know, you press P and then you click the little text icon. The next thing I was gonna say, playing like queuing is actually probably better than solo queuing because you get to build more synergy with your like teammate. Like, for example, yesterday we were scrimming, and I don't know, on Dorado, Fofi was playing Junkrat, and Brig was playing Zarya, and they hit like a pretty good grav and tire combo, like working on that stuff. It's also good in ranked. And the third thing I was gonna say is, can you also pin the spreadsheet?
Oh yes, I forgot about pinning that too.
Yeah, so it doesn't just get buried underneath.
Yeah, and I also try and remember to post that to you guys every week to be like, hey, here's, check the updates that are going on here.
Maybe Lana, we can make a team documents channel, and then that will just be strictly for the.
I don't need more channels to deal with. We'll just do it in their chat.
We need folders now.
Can I add some comments also?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, go ahead.
For me, guys, being on this team, it's a privilege. I see it as. I put in like these rules that we're putting in should not be rules in the first place. If you guys want to like actually play this game and get good at it.
Having this conversation.
Yeah, this should just be like stuff.
It shouldn't feel like a strain.
Yeah. This should just be stuff we do. This is my like daily basis shit. Like, we should all be practicing and putting in the work for it. This professionalism, that shouldn't be a rule. We should all be professional at what we do. So
like,
it's a privilege. Like, treat it as it.
Guys, like Jay shouldn't be reminding you guys what is and what isn't BM. Like, even with the past week, he's done that like 4 or 5 times. Like, tell him like.
On top of that, dealing with other teams and so obviously there's a lot of things that you guys don't see behind the scenes that like I'm doing or Physique is doing or maybe even Vanish is doing, and it's like, the amount of people who have told me via DM, like in our dealings with them and between scrim partners and tryouts and just other people just sending us inquiries, the amount of people who have said that we present ourselves in a professional way and that we're very communicative and things like that is, there's a lot of people saying that about us. And I want to keep that,
Like, they think we're the most positive vibe team
yeah,
in the
like
world.
I want to keep that reputation that we communicate well and that we're on top of our shit and that we're we're good scrim partners. I don't want to get a like name for being bad scrim partners who just BM and chat the entire time or talk shit on social media. Like I don't want to hear that. I don't want to be associated with that. Like, I mean, I haven't talked to you guys like about my personal life all that much, but I moved across the country to LA to try and get into esports, and that's part of why I do this after work and in my spare time. And I'm not about to completely uproot my entire life and try and do all this shit in the background just to have a bad reputation in the scene. So don't make me look bad and don't make yourselves look bad.
Exactly.
That the people that are in charge of our organization are actually like this, because I know a lot of the teams we do scream kind of just have like half-ass, don't really care, just play to play. So I'm really happy to be
Honestly, out of the whole team, like Lana's probably the most dedicated out of all of us. Like, she does so much for us, and I think we need to start appreciating it more.
Oh, thanks.
I just repeat myself.
It's just here to like parrot what I
Guys,
say.
I love you too. You know this.
Honestly, guys, I'm really happy Lana's around, because then I can just worry about my own gameplay and I don't have to do that stuff. Lana's incredible at what she does.
Also, shout out to Vanish. Love you.
Vanish helps take so much stress off of my shoulders. I very much appreciate Vanish being around. Trust me.
Only if he wasn't 12.
Yeah, but when he wasn't
That's
12.
toxic. What the? Cut.
Anyone else have any questions or concerns?
Well, I mean, my only concern is like, obviously, like I'm gonna have to do it with somebody for fucking ranked because I really, really hate it. And piggybacking like on what someone just said, like some people just play to play, and obviously like that's not what we're in it for. I mean, I feel like that's just the whole like Western like mindset, right? Like
Yep.
that's what's so terrible about comp. Period. Like I
Mm.
think I take gaming a little bit too serious to the point like I hate casual players. Period. Like I hate one trades. I hate
Yep.
all that shit. So like
I agree.
I mean, I just don't have the mental like fortitude for comp specifically. Like I just can't give anybody some type of I can't think of
Dude,
the word. I can't. I
yeah, like-
can't. I can't have sympathy for you being a casual. So I should not be toxic to you. Like no. Like you deserve all the toxicity in the world. In my opinion.
Tell
Like,
us how
but
you
if-
really
if
feel.
you're-
no, I really hate comp. Like I really do
Yeah.
because of that. Like
It sucks.
It-
It's just it's the only way you can really get a competitive natured practice in.
no,
Yeah,
yeah,
it
100%.
It is
And,
really
you know-
competitive. I mean, I've played a games where I've had 5 1-trigs and I can't do anything.
But exactly. So like
There's
that's the
no
thing, right?
way
That's
I can win. No
so, like,
way.
that's the next thing, right? So like
Honest to
everybody
God.
feels like competitive is like the only thing to do to like learn how to play, I guess, or like practice. But it's like, what are we really learning when we have to adapt to other one trits? We have to totally play like unmeta comps in order to like win games sometimes compared to like what stream like type of setups would be
That's
and
why we
things like that.
suggested like duo
This is
queuing,
not-
trio.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Duo,
exactly. Yeah,
trio.
yeah.
Hell, you could
It-
6-stack. I don't care. But
And if you guys want to play comp just
Yeah.
to play comp, like do that on your like your Smurfs or your ults.
No, yeah, yeah. No, you're right.
Otherwise, like,
I mean,
Yeah.
'cause, I'll happily queue with you, Rex. Like Jay's here too. Like we're both good supports. Like, you
and
know,
this
we
is
play
why I
well.
said only 6 hours, because I understand that more than that is it's going to be rough. Like, I mean, a lot of you know that my boyfriend was part of Fnatic when the team was still around and stuff, and they had ranked requirements and all this other shit. And I forget how many hours of ranked they had to play. Stoop, how many hours of ranked?
No,
did you
I
have
was,
to
I
play
was a
week?
fan of Stoop, dude. It was nasty. It was crazy, dude. Fnatic
They
was
had
a
to
good
play at
team.
least 3 hours a day when he was on Fnatic. So
That's pussy shit. What the hell? Sign me.
well, it was
Well-
when they were like already doing other shit. Like they were scrimming like 8 hours a day. Like
I was
this
gonna
was
say,
when they were in,
yeah,
like,
they're like
Korea
screaming
for
out
Apex and
today.
shit or
Definitely.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
like, you know,
so they were already scrimming tons of hours a day, and on top of that, they were asked to play 3 hours of ranked a day. So you know,
Like-
I'm obviously not
But-
saying that you guys should be
but,
doing the
like,
same thing as a
Yeah,
team then, but
like,
at the same time,
sorry.
this is not a lot.
no, but at the same time, like, I'm guessing that he didn't have a job or anything because he was getting paid for it, like by Fnatic and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not sure about anybody else here, but I have a job, I have class, I have like a girlfriend, I got I have a lot of things. Yeah, I have 3
mean,
kids.
dude, I mean, I work from home.
Well,
you know,
I
but-
mean, 6 hours a week is, is more than fine for me. I can do that, but
Yeah, I
I
can
just
do
think
it.
sometimes I can really get caught up in like my school because I'm about to graduate. I need to start my
Yeah.
my bachelor's program, etc., etc. And I have work, and I'm in the process of moving to my garage, and like it's
Again,
Yeah.
like I said, I am willing to make excuses for certain, or not excuses. I'm willing to make exceptions for people whose lives don't exactly allow it right now, or maybe this month they're having difficulties. Just talk to me and let me know,
communicate. Just
because
communicate.
otherwise I don't know. It's like, think of me like your boss, even though I'm not. Just hey, I can't do this because reason. Okay, let's discuss it. What can we do? Maybe you can do 4 this week instead of 6, and that'll be fine. Just talk to me.
Just make sure you guys have an open communication channel to your managers and stuff. Like otherwise they don't know. Like don't just not say anything.
Don't assume that I know what's going on in your
Yeah.
life, because I don't. On any given week can be different.
And mind you, like you don't have to say if it's a personal reason, just say it's a
Yeah,
personal reason. You don't have
like-
to explain the details.
Yeah,
But
like if you're
talk
sick
to her.
and it's a very specific illness, or your family is not going well, but it's something very specific. You don't need to give me those details. Just saying, I'm having family issues right now, or I'm having issues with an illness right now. I don't need the details. Just give me the bare minimum and let me know what's going on.
Mom, I got my dick stuck in the toaster.
Yeah, I don't need to
What
hear
the-
all the details. Mom, I had to go to the emergency room because I did something stupid. That's good enough.
Yeah. Like guys, like I personally like I would love to play and have as much dedication and discipline from everyone as Korean players, but like realistically, it's we all have lives,
Yeah.
so we can't.
And
play
you're not
together
getting paid
now.
either.
Yeah, if we were getting
And
played,
the family culture is very different there versus here.
oh yeah. Like, if
Well,
were
once
getting
we can,
paid-
we might be able to do that.
Yeah, you guys
Definitely.
need to all move back in with your parents and quit your jobs. Just
I
play.
already
Like, it-
adopted
hours.
Zero.
Yeah.
if we were getting paid, it'd be a lot different. But the goal is we want to get to that point where we can get paid, and that's where these rules will help a bit.
Or win tournaments and get monies or something.
Scrimming Red Rockets until we just utterly destroy them every time, and then they're
Well, dude,
picks
we
us
didn't
up and
scrim
drops
them
them.
again because like we haven't scrimmed them in a while.
We just scrimmed them.
We scrimmed them the other day,
What the fuck?
No, I mean before
the
yesterday.
22nd.
Yeah,
Oh,
before
okay.
the Friday.
It's like,
Because
what?
every time we played them, we rolled them, and Omega rolls them. Like I'm not even kidding. You can watch past VODs against them. We roll
Yeah.
them. Like there's no map we lose, but with the new changes and stuff, we've kind of gotten thrown off by the whole.
Yeah,
Mercy
you
thing.
guys lost a map to
But-
them, and you drew a map.
Oh yeah.
So
Yeah. So like, once we get to the level that we can, getting sponsors and all that stuff, then yeah, we'll be scrimming 8 hours a day. Like, but until that point, we have to get there first. Like, we have to win some tournaments and that type of thing. So
let's start fragging
it's-
harder.
it's gonna.
yes,
you know,
frag harder. Lucio's included. I want to see Lucio frags left and right. Let's
Dude,
go.
I killed that soldier, Jaws. I killed your soldier yesterday.
That was so BS.
Feed.
He was literally full health, running out of spawn, and I just boom, dead.
Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, and then I fed.
Bro.
So, you know, guys, these rules they're not a lot to ask for, and if they are, it'll weed out people who don't want to take the game to a serious pro level. So, yeah. Any concerns? Any more questions?
No.
It's the way it should be, man.
I don't know. This is my only team. Bro. I
No
don't know.
You
one
I'm a
can,
says
you
noob.
can go just like camp
I'm
out
a
in some
noob.
other team's Discord and be like, how does
You
this
guys-
work?
I would like recommend as well. Like before we created Hive and stuff, what I would do for like just a good insight to other teams is I would just go into the OW, tell people I can record their scrims, and I would be able to see other teams scrim, and I just upload their VOD for them. People won't mind you if they don't have a recorder.
Physique is a spy.
Physique.
I used to see
Physique.
that,
Can I
actually. Get a
tell
good
people I can record their scrims, but I don't record anything and I just leave and I just watch the whole scrim?
No, because that gives us a bad name. That's not
Toxic.
But I'm gonna go under a different name though. Like
Toxic.
It's
Jaws
IP
with a Z.
address.
not Jaws.
Yeah.
That's what I used to do. I'm sure like if you go into the OW and look for ringers and stuff, like people will let you do that if you record their VODs, and it gave me a good insight to how they're running comms, how their comms are, all that type of stuff. But don't be afraid to go to Twitch or YouTube and watch OGN games, watch stuff, learn. Like it goes a long way. It really does. I know Jay puts in a ridiculous amount of time for practice. I mean, I used to do that. With
Get
my
on
whole
Jay's level, y'all.
Listen, I don't want to sound like an exception too. If I'm practicing 10 hours a day and I'm not getting better, I like on my word, I will cut myself from this team if I'm underperforming.
Thought you were gonna say you're gonna cut yourself.
I will end it all here. No.
Hashtag
I'll
cut for
myself
Jay.
from the fucking team. If
I
I'm
know that this is gonna be really awkward. Really.
Alright. Like I'm not exception here, and
Yeah.
no one else is. Okay,
And
like nobody's exception.
I mean, I sent Jay my what I used to do with Anna, my training thing, and just doing simple drills a day, like tracking drills, aiming drills, having goals, like for a quick play game, like I want to sleep 10 people, or I want to get 4 nano boosts, or those simple things actually go a long way in like understanding your role more. I know jumping into comp or something, like half the time you only have one healer, like, but
I
it
got
shouldn't
right click.
just duo with people.
Oh yeah. Also, if comp is something that you're having a difficulty with, depending on the case, I might be willing to discuss. Like maybe if you do certain drills, like practice drills, aiming drills, something like that. If you are having trouble meeting the 6 hours, but that's not going to be like at any time you can change it to I'm just going to do 6 hours of practice drills. No. Special occasions, I will consider allowing that. So, that's something that we could potentially do if you're having trouble meeting the 6 hours of ranked. That was just something I just came up with. So
yeah, because I mean, too, guys, like if you're just doing
it just
them
reminded me
drills
that
and
that's a thing.
stuff, like everybody here can record or stream.
Yeah.
So like if that is something, we just record yourself doing your 1 hour a day drills, then
Yeah.
you upload it, send it to
For
Lana.
those special occasions.
Yeah.
Do not assume that you could do that without discussing it with me, though.
Don't just do it and be like, hey, look, I did it. No.
Just do it.
Look, Mom, I'm done.
Yeah. So, all right. I guess if no one else has any questions, I suppose we're.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, I thought about bringing up the whole commitment thing about practicing and stuff before, but didn't feel it was the time for it. I'm glad we had the conversation.
Well, good. Yeah, I definitely want to see more general commitment out of. I think that you can all do it. Like a lot of you are online a lot more often than I am. And I think you guys can make the 6 hours work, and I think that you guys could really improve by playing together. Practicing combos, whatever. Like, yeah, competitive can fucking suck, especially this season. The season's especially rough, but if you're playing with more than one other person, it can be really helpful. I don't even care if you guys 6-stack. Like, just get your few hours in, and yeah. So I guess that'll be it. Yeah, just let me know if you have any other questions, I guess.
All right.
Oh, and don't forget, since I mentioned at the beginning, if you want to play with an account different than the one that I have on my spreadsheet, you need to send it to me today. Otherwise, I'm going to assume that you're going with the one that's there.
Yeah. And two, for Omega members, scrims are tomorrow, Monday, Tuesday, Thursdays, moving forward.
I'll just send it to you right now, Lana, anyway.
Gotcha. Yeah,
Same here.
definitely Omega. Remember that your scrim dates have changed. I think I can do
Don't
that.
forget it, guys.
Is Alpha still the same or?
Alpha's still the same. Omega's only different just because Renru has to work on Friday and Saturday, so they changed it to accommodate him. So Alpha, your tryout tomorrow is going to be humans, and then I'm trying to get A-Cubed on Wednesday, but he has not replied to me yet. So humans will be there tomorrow though. So alrighty, y'all. I will let you go. Again.
Arch is here.
Wow.
Wow, nice. Literally joining at the end of the conversation.
First strike. First
I
strike.
saw 5, and I was
I said 3 or 6. Three Pacific.
yeah 6. Yeah, so this is 6. 5:57.
No, it's
What?
7.
What?
6 Eastern.
Oh,
right
you're
now.
Central Time, bro. It's Eastern.
Oh,
What?
He's Central.
Bro,
Fuck.
I'm
He has an
Central too.
excuse.
You gotta
put
put yourself an hour
Pacific
early.
and I put Pacific and Eastern. I included the time
Yeah,
zone.
but you have Central.
I included the.
That's no excuse. I'm Central, bro. What the
Fuck Central Time. I
I'm
was thinking.
Central.
Well, thankfully, Vanish recorded it, so you can listen to the recording. Oh god! All right. Well, we're ending now. Archie,
All right.
listen to the recording. And
Wait, I have another question.
what is your question?
Who wants to play some comp with a
There you go.
33 with a
Uh,
3300 scrub?
I literally can.
And I will.